Welcome to the Endless Entrepreneurs YouTube channel. My name is Luke Henson. I am a eBay seller, a real estate investor, and I also work as a consultant in the corporate finance world. I have been on a hiatus from making videos for quite some time now. It's been probably, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, and I have owed everyone a big update video, so that's what this is. This room is a new location for me to do a video, so I'm hoping that the connection is going to be all right. I'll wait to see the chat fill in. This is a live video. Just for those who are new to my channel, I primarily specialize in selling apparel, used clothing, and more recently, very new clothing. Dabble in shoes a little bit and some vintage electronics, but primarily clothing is my game. I also own one rental property. It is a residential long-term rental unit. Looking to buy another one this fall. And yeah, so that's me. If you're new to my channel, if you're coming back or checking in, you've been a long-time follower, I appreciate it. I do appreciate all the kind words and comments and messages I've gotten over the last 6 weeks. But just kind of jumping into where I've been, hopefully, if you guys let me know in the chat my connection's okay, that would be good. I think it's fine. But one of the things that really I hit about 6 weeks ago is I just hit complete burnout from a content creation standpoint. Not really from my business or for anything else. Like, everything was going fine and going well. Like, during this 6 weeks period, I just got to a point where I was so focused on the other things in front of me that trying to fit in content just didn't work. Like, I just didn't have the time as I was rearranging and figuring out what I wanted to focus on. And so I just really wasn't able to devote any time to it. And to be honest, I kind of forgot, or I don't know if forgot's the word. I couldn't remember, or I couldn't feel motivated to know why I used to produce content so frequently. I don't know if that makes any sense. If anyone else produces content, you might be able to relate. But I just, like, when it came down to the choice of, like, oh, I should really do a video right now, it was like, yeah, or I could do these 3 other things. And I was like, well, I'm gonna do all these 3 other things. And it was really easy for me to justify in my head the other 3 or 4 things, because to me, they still were aligned with things that I cared about and focused on. And so that was when I started just to really look, and I started to take a step back over the last 6 weeks and just say, all right, so what is it that's important to me? And, I like to be very detailed in my business plans and my allocation of my time, all those things that's always been really, really important to me. And so I took a step back and I really assessed, like, what is it that I'm trying to accomplish? Looking back at, like, my goals, my longer term goals from, last year before, like, am I still on track with those? Am I still pushing towards those? Are those still something I really want? Are they in line with the lifestyle that I want? All those different things. And, really what it came down to was I had to reorder what I was working on. And I had to stop settling in some of the areas that I really shouldn't be settling on. And I just had to really simplify what my approach was. So just to kind of summarize what I've done differently, I am going to continue to produce content on here. So that's the good news for those of you who have enjoyed my content. I am going to continue to produce it. But I really just reprioritize what I'm doing. And, to be, like, high level with it is I'm focusing on family first. And I'm making sure that's, like, very, very, very true. Shannon and I pretty much map out all our time together. Anyone who follows me on Instagram, you saw we just got back from San Diego. We had, like, a whole 5-day vacation there, which was awesome. But really just mapping out my entire week, month, whatever, with her in lockstep, so that all the opportunities we have to do stuff together, we can. And then I'm scheduling everything else around that. That's how we always used to operate. And then, like, the last, like, just getting into the wedding and afterwards, it's just been nuts. Like, with both our, I do the consulting in the day. She's got an awesome career. And so it's just been kind of a lot of juggling. So we finally have kind of settled into that, and it's been great. The last month and a half, we've really gotten a nice rhythm. And that kind of pairs up with the second priority, which is really health and fitness. And that's always been somewhat of a priority, but I really haven't made it as much as that it needs to be. I had slipped off, like, shortly after the wedding. Just the weather wasn't nice here, and I just wasn't doing as much as I should have. I was pretty much only playing basketball. I really wasn't doing anything else regimented. But the last 6 weeks, well, it's almost 8 weeks now, Shannon and I have gotten to CrossFit. And so that's been something that we also get to do together. And it's kind of brought some fitness levels and some clarity that I haven't had in a really long time. And we both love it. So I've been really devoting a lot of my time to CrossFit, which has been fantastic. So really just taking those top 2 priorities and then seeing what time is left. And then whatever time is left, I'm devoting to my business. And I'm keeping it kind of high level as business, but I'm going to give you guys the details of what I'm really focusing on when it comes to that. And the first thing that I'm focusing on is specifically eBay and reselling. One of the things that I think I've compromised over the last, I'd say, year or so producing content in exchange for not really pushing myself in the reselling. Like, I feel like I could have grown a lot more had I been a lot more laser focused. Not that I haven't grown, and I'm very happy with where I'm at. I mean, like I said, I sold like almost 65K last year, as a part-time seller. I'm outpacing that pretty steadily this year, and starting to scale pretty fast, which is good. But I want to really focus on building the systems and kind of the machine around the business instead of it just be me and a one-man show. And those of you who watched my content from the very beginning, one of my early goals was like, I didn't want to be a one-man shop forever. My goal was to do that, to build capital, to build inventory, and then to start scaling. And when I started producing content, I kind of got away from that ambition because I substituted a lot of the energy I should have been in building out those processes, finding reliable people and contractors, finding good suppliers. I kind of substituted the time I should have been allocating to that into producing content. And then I just kind of kept my business growing with whatever manpower I had left. And I really was selling myself short. And I didn't realize that, but I really was selling myself short. So I'm going to really, really, really focus on continuing to find quality contractors to do work for me. Someone said set up a camera and do it in time lapse. Content will produce itself. Yeah, Kyle, that's a great idea. And actually, I'll talk about. I have some strategies on how I'll keep producing more content without it taking as much of my time. But I'm going to continue to like really, really focus in on finding more contractors. So I think I'm up to 5 people right now who are doing something in some capacity for me. It's all around photos and listing through InkFrog, and really just processing the items themselves. I just picked up, if any of you saw my post on Instagram, a lot, and I'll do a more detailed video on it and kind of give some props to the new supplier. It is a public supplier. I don't mind sharing them with you guys who I got it from, but I'm going to do a more dedicated video on it. But I got 750 new with tags, plus size clothing today, shelf pull quality, and just kind of high level. Of the 750 items, there was only like 10 that were, in my mind, were unsellable. So that's a pretty good scrap rate from or waste rate when you do a bulk order. But in any case, so now that I've got that bulk buy in, I processed that today. I've got that ready for all my listers. I want to keep building out those processes, keep building out kind of like the easily. I'm trying to document all my desktop procedures, so to speak, like from the business world, right? It's like I'm trying to really make it as crystal clear that I can hand off to anyone a specific piece of my business and they can take it and run with it, so that I can just continue to remove myself from it and keep scaling. So I'm really going to focus on finding good help, and right now, every single one of the people doing stuff for me is a reseller in some capacity. They're building their businesses. I'm helping them build their businesses too. I'm giving them advice wherever I can. So it's a really mutually beneficial. And then again, the second piece I'm really focusing on is building supplier relationships. I've over the last, like I said, it's probably 6-7 weeks that I've been kind of offline here. I've really been developing a great relationship with a supplier, and it's going to be a really steady supply of inventory for me moving forward, to the point where, I mean, I'll still hit thrift stores because I like it, but it will not have to be as much of a necessity and as much as I want, or as much as I need to. So that's really the eBay side of things. As far as the content on here goes, is I'm going to go to a much more non-live production, and so I'm going to be batching a lot more videos. I'll probably be dedicating like one day, like probably like a Sunday morning. I'm probably going to knock out 3 or 4 videos. I'll probably do like a tutorial video. I'll probably do a sales update video from the week before. I might do like from my bulk buys or my setups. I might walk through some of the inventory I have and what I picked, why I picked it. Might go through just talking about systems or something that I'm passionate about around it. But it's going to be much more batch production, but I'll be releasing it throughout the week. So it's going to allow me to get out some more consistent content in a more, I don't know, maximized way. Before, I always was doing live videos like this, and I love the live interaction. I love interacting with you guys in the audience. Anyone who follows, taking the Q&A, I love that aspect of it, and there'll still be time for that. But that's not going to be my number one way that I'm producing content anymore. It's going to be much more, I guess, just manufactured style, I guess is the best way to say it. It doesn't sound very good when you say it that way, but that's what I'm going to try to do so that I can keep adding content. Because what I've realized, I've taken a step back, is the reason that I liked producing content was I like to help people. And so it's like I like the interaction with the community. I like that other people can help me. And I don't have to be live all the time like this to have that. And that was what I really had to take a step back and realize, was I always felt like to get this interaction I had to be live, and that would get burned out. And it's like I don't need that. Like I can produce static content that helps people, can have comments come through, can have direct message on Instagram, can interact that way and still get the same thing out of it. And then the other thing that I really liked about producing content, and I've always known this, but it's just really taking a break from it helped me realize it, was I love the interaction with other content producers, other people who are kind of like, I would consider them thought leaders, right? Like people who are in the trenches and are sharing what they're going through. I miss that aspect of it. So continue to produce content for those two reasons is huge for me. And the third is just I want to continue to document what I'm doing. I'm going to put out a separate video about what I learned from vlogging for 35 days, but I vlogged for 35 days straight. I actually loved it. It was super time intensive from an editing perspective and just remembering to vlog, but I learned a ton through that process, and I'm going to do a video to share that. Hey Wade, how you doing, man? Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, thanks for the welcome back. It's been a little bit of a hiatus, but it's nice to be back. So yeah, that's really kind of my focus from a YouTube perspective or a content creation. And then from like a real estate, just kind of come full circle here, because those are kind of the three prongs, I guess, for me, is Shannon and I both collectively are be looking to buy another property this fall. We're still debating what it's going to be. It's likely going to be more of a lifestyle one, more of a vacation type rental. Still be a rental property, but that's what we're thinking about. We also have some pretty big house renovations we're doing here with this current property. When we bought this, we had a vision for what we wanted to do with it. There's a lot of equity opportunity, and we won't be in this place forever. It'll eventually be a rental as well. So have big projects here for the summer, and then buy another property in the fall. Those are kind of the two things on tap from the real estate perspective. So of course we'll share that along the way. To give an update on my rental property that I have now, I'm 6 months in from it cash flowing. I hate to even bring this up, but knock, knock, I haven't had any major issues. Had to replace the water filter in the refrigerator, and had to get some pest control with our lovely North Carolina. I can't remember the name of the beetles, but they look like roaches pretty much. They're not, but they're just everywhere in here in North Carolina. So I had to get a treatment, but that's about it in 6 months. So it's been a pretty painless landlord experience thus far. Whoa, that's a lot of talking. Woo, had a lot to catch up on there. But I've got another video that, again, batching up, that I've had while I was flying to San Diego. I was reading The Millionaire Mindset, which is I had read parts of it before, and I had read the full Millionaire Next Door, which I recommend both those books. They're really, really good. But I've been rereading The Millionaire Mindset, and I just started thinking about kind of personality traits I have, what I'm trying to accomplish, what are the commonalities in people who are successful and grow businesses. And why am I doing what I'm doing? Because I started to question, like, is reselling really the path that I want to develop, financial freedom or wealth or grow a business? Is that really the best path for me? And I started to remember why I originally got into reselling. I started to remember why I was passionate about even apparel specifically. Because then you start to think about what you're selling and why you're selling it. And I actually ended up writing like what I would call like kind of my thesis, or my my master thesis for the next 10 years, basically. So why I'm doing what I'm doing. And it was interesting to try to write that on paper and articulate it. And once I did, it started to kind of connect for me again, all of the goals I had and why they wove together. And, just super high level, because I don't want to give away too much of the content, so I'm going to do a more detailed video. It was like, I know that there is going to be an enormous amount of inventory available at an extreme discount over the next decade because of the way that retail is shifting right now. The demand for those items isn't really going anywhere. It's just the price point of the demand is going down to the point where brick and mortar, as we know it, can't make money distributing it that way. And so there's an enormous opportunity for people who can develop the infrastructure to distribute it at the lower price point. And so that's kind of was always my model, was how do I build this machine, so to speak, to handle it? And I'm doing it part-time, building it, but it doesn't mean I can't do it quickly, and it doesn't mean I can't be focused on it. And I kind of lost that focus. And then in similar paths, kind of pillars, right? That was one pillar recently, was I wanted to be accumulating real estate along the way. I wanted to use this business to purchase real estate, right? Whether it be commercial real estate to support the business, whether it be rental real estate to support the lifestyle that Shannon and I want, or whether it be like residential rentals, which is just, wealth creation. So those two pillars being the focus of what I want to do from a business perspective. And then, that third one is just the documentation of it, which is what this is, right? The networking of YouTube, right? The networking of Instagram, meeting those people in the community that can really help you move your business forward. Like that's where the value is in me producing content, is the reward of helping someone, but also the reward of networking and meeting the people who can really help me too. Because I mean, I know a lot about a little, is what I like to say, right? It's like I don't know a lot about a lot. There's a lot more I can learn. There's a lot more people who are way further ahead than I am that can continue to help me. And so it's like keeping those three things in line, in perspective, adding the right amount of time and effort towards them equally is what's going to make me successful. So I'm really refreshed, I think is like the best word. I'm really focused with my time, and I can really clearly see how it's going to play out, especially like the next 3 or 4 months, and how I'm going to do this, execute it, why I'm going to enjoy it, why I'm excited about it. So I'm really pumped. Like it's exciting. I'll take some Q&A here for a little bit. I do have quite a bit on the tap here before tonight. I got to get done before the finals start. I am going to watch probably LeBron get swept. I have this. I'm not a LeBron lover, but I respect how good he is, and I just don't want to see a sweep. A sweep is super boring for the finals, but gonna watch that while I'm doing some ink frog listings later. But I will take any questions anyone has, and if not, that's totally fine too. It's been so long since I did a video, so just kind of trying to get back in the swing of it. And I knew I told people that I would catch them up with where I've been. And if anyone is in the chat, or any local resellers, or any resellers in general who are looking, want to do any of the contract type work for me, or interested in how they can do it, or they can get, or hire contractors type thing, those are interested, I'm more than happy to answer those questions. I will have more videos out about how I am doing it. It's not as complicated as people think people overcomplicate it, I guess is the best way to say it. I was stumbling a little bit on my words there. And I've had a couple people reach out and ask how I was doing it. I'm more than happy to share. There's nothing secret that I'm doing. I think there's more than enough out there for everyone, and there's more than enough win-win opportunities with people that you can create those. All right, well, I don't see any questions, and I'm totally fine with that, guys. I appreciate everyone stopping in for the catch-up video here, and you can expect some more regular content from me. I'm excited to be back and producing content. Hope everyone has an awesome weekend, and I will be back soon. See you guys.